Muscle cars weren't always a thing, but they symbolized American freedom and power once they hit the streets. From their roaring engines to their sleek designs, these legendary cars captured the hearts of everyone who loved the thrill of the ride. Number 15. 1968. Buick Riviera GS. The 1968 Buick Riviera GS is a true powerhouse that combines style, innovation, and performance. Under the hood, you'll find a massive 430 cubic inch V8 engine, pushing out 360 horsepower and an incredible 475 pound-feet of torque. This engine, paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission, lets the Riviera hit 60 miles per hour in just 8.1 seconds and complete a quarter mile in 15.9 seconds. It may have weighed over 4,000 pounds, but the power it packed more than made up for it. But it's not just about the engine. This car also had a bold and beautiful design. With a longer wheelbase of 119 inches, the Riviera could carry larger engines that were unavailable to other GM cars at the time. This gave it a unique edge, allowing for that famous power while keeping the sleek, stylish look Buick was known for. The Riviera GS wasn't just another luxury car. Its aggressive two-door style and muscular build made it stand out as a performance machine. Regarding design, the Riviera went for smoother, rounder lines compared to its predecessor's sharp edges. It was often compared to the Oldsmobile Torino, but the Riviera had a unique elegance. It also kept the classic front-engine rear-wheel drive layout, giving it predictable handling and easier to maintain. The Riviera GS wasn't just about good looks and power. It had innovative features like the Super Turbine 400 transmission with a switch-pitch torque converter, offering an excellent balance of comfort and performance. All these qualities make the 1968 Buick Riviera GS one of the most legendary cars ever built. Number 14. 1968. Ford Fairlane Torino. 428. The 1968 Ford Fairlane Torino 428, or the Ford Torino GT, might not be the first car that comes to mind when you think of legends. Inside the hood, it's packing a 428 Cobra jet engine, a total game changer. Officially, it was rated at 335 horsepower. Still, independent testing showed it was closer to 365 horsepower and 452 pound-feet of torque. That's a whole lot of power, especially for the time. Surprisingly, Ford only made 660 cars with the Cobra jet engine in 1968, making it rare. The engine returned in 1969. But finding one of these 68 models with the original engine is like finding a treasure. But it's not just about the power. This car looks fantastic too. The Torino had a sleek, stylish design with a full-width grille, quad headlights, and smooth lines from front to back. The vertical taillights gave it an extra touch of flair. Inside, the Fairlane Torino GT kept it sporty and practical, with armrests, a horn ring, and chrome accents on the windows. Even the name Fairlane was elegantly scripted on the side of the rear fender. What makes the Torino GT stand out is how Ford took a regular, budget-friendly car and turned it into something special. They made innovative changes to keep costs down, but still managed to pack in an engine that turned heads and gave you a thrill behind the wheel. The 1968 Ford Fairlane Torino GT may not have been flashy, but with all that power and style, it's a true legend that can still surprise anyone who thinks they can take it on. So, how do you enjoy this video? Let us know, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Number 13. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona car is a true legend in the muscle car world. Born for NASCAR, it was built to be a speed demon, and boy, did it live up to that promise. With its bold, aerodynamic design, the Daytona was hard to miss. The pointed nose cone and giant rear wing weren't just for looks. They were all about cutting through the air and giving the car a serious edge on the racetrack. But it wasn't just about looks. The Charger Daytona packed a punch with its mighty 426 cubic inch Hemi-Fiv 8 engine and produced a jaw-dropping 425 horsepower, giving the Daytona its power to dominate the tracks, even if it didn't always win the races. While the Daytona only won 6 NASCAR races, it became a legend for a different reason. It was the first car to break the 200 miles per hour barrier in a NASCAR race. That achievement alone put the Charger Daytona in the history books. Only 505 of these incredible machines were built, which makes them rare and highly sought after today. If you're lucky enough to come across one, be prepared for a hefty price tag, anywhere from $150,000 to $500,000. But really, it's worth every penny for a piece of automotive history. The Dodge Charger Daytona isn't just about speed. It symbolizes innovation, power, and style that still gets hearts racing today. This car is a legendary part of motorsports history, and owning one is like holding onto a time capsule of pure racing greatness. Number 12, 1970 Buick GSX. The 1970 Buick GSX is a true legend in the world of muscle cars, and it's easy to see why. Packed with a powerful 455 cubic inch V8 engine, this car isn't just about looks, it's built to perform. With 360 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque, it can reach a top speed of 150 miles per hour. On top of that, it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.5 seconds and finishes a quarter mile in only 13.4 seconds. That's serious power right there. But the GSX isn't just about speed. It also stands out thanks to its GSX Stage 1 package, which takes this car's performance to another level. This unique trim came with a hood-mounted tachometer, heavy-duty cooling, and a rally ride control suspension for a smoother, more controlled ride. Whether on the street or at the track, the GSX was a real competitor. Moreover, the handling of the GSX is another reason it's a standout. Cars magazine even called it one of the best handling supercars ever built in October 1970. Buick's engineers nailed the perfect balance of springs, shocks, and anti-roll bars, making it not just fast, but a joy to drive. It was all about power and control. What makes the GSX even more remarkable is its rarity. Only 678 units were produced, which makes it one of the rarest muscle cars of its time. The design, with colors like Saturn Yellow and Apollo White and wide wheels, gave it a bold, distinctive look. Whether you're a muscle car fan or not, there's no denying the greatness of the 1970 Buick GSX. It's a valid symbol of muscle car excellence. Number 11, 1968 Chevrolet Camaro. The 1968 Chevrolet Camaro is rising to the top regarding legendary muscle cars. Sure, the 1967 model started the Camaro's legacy, but the 68 is really making a name for itself, and for good reason. Right now, you can snag one for a little over $60,000, a bit more than the 67. That means there's still time to grab one, even if it's a bit of a project car. What makes the 68 Camaro stand out? First, it looks stunning. While it's similar to the 67, the 68 has some cool upgrades. The side vent windows are gone, replaced by a new fresh air system called Astro Ventilation. The front grille is sharper, the taillights are split, and even the running lights have a new oval shape on non-RS models. The SS models have chrome hood inserts and a sleek black tail panel. But it's not just about looks. The 68 Camaro is all muscle. The big block 396 cubic inch engine, pushing 350 horsepower, made the SS a powerhouse. It even had a better suspension to handle the extra power. For true collectors, the rare COPO Camaro models with the 427 cubic inch V8 are the real masterpieces. One of these, with just 22,000 miles, sold for an incredible $583,000. With incredible looks, raw power, and collector appeal, the 68 Camaro is legendary. It's not just a car, it's a piece of automotive history. Number 10, 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. The 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS might not have been the most powerful car of its time, but it was one of the most fun to drive. With a 305 cubic inch V8 engine, it pushed out 180 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque, giving it plenty of muscle for a thrilling ride. Pair that with a 4-speed automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive, and you've got a car that could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.6 seconds and reach a top speed of 126 miles per hour. Not bad for a car from the 1980s, when regulations were tighter than ever. Beyond this, the 1980s weren't precisely the best time for muscle cars. With things like oil embargoes and stricter regulations, a lot of the enormous power cars were pushed to the back burner. But the Monte Carlo SS wasn't about to go down quietly. It wasn't the fastest or the most powerful, but it had enough grunt to make it one of the most exciting cars to drive from that era. It was part of the iconic Monte Carlo line, which had been around since the early 70s. Known for its sleek two-door coupe design, it was initially a luxury car with a V8 engine and rear-wheel drive. After taking a break in the mid-80s, the Monte Carlo SS returned in 1983 with that solid 305 cubic inch V8 engine. It wasn't the big block muscle car that fans were used to, but it had the performance and character to make it stand out. It wasn't just a car, it was a statement. The Monte Carlo SS may not have been the king of muscle cars, but it sure left its mark and earned its place in history as a fun, legendary ride. Number 9, 1964, Dodge Polara 500. The 1964 Dodge Polara 500 is a muscle car that still gets attention for a good reason. Let's start with its power. Under the hood, you'll find a massive 426 cubic inch Hemi engine, delivering 425 horsepower. It's not just fast. It can hit top speeds of 120 miles per hour and accelerate to 60 miles per hour in about 12 seconds. Whether at the drag strip or just cruising the streets, this car has the perfect blend of speed and everyday usability. But the Polara 500 isn't just about raw power. It's also about style and luxury. As Dodge's top trim for 1964, it came in several body styles, including sedan, hardtop coupe, and convertible. No matter the style, the Polara's sleek design and unique touches set it apart. It was a car built to impress, with custom upholstery, unique exterior moldings, and backup lights that added to its classy appeal. This muscle car wasn't just made for speed, it was also designed for the street. The Hemi engine, with features like solid valve lifters, hemispherical combustion chambers, and dual 4-barrel carburetors, was a powerhouse that could easily dominate any track. Also, with around 64,900 models built, the 1964 Dodge Polara 500 remains one of the greatest muscle cars ever. Combining muscle with luxury and power with style, it's no surprise this car is still remembered as a true legend in the world of muscle cars. Number 8, 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle L78. Next up, let's talk about one of the most legendary muscle cars ever, the 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle L78. This car was made to impress with a powerful 396 cubic inch V8 engine that packed a punch with 375 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. That kind of power made it capable of going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.5 seconds, with an estimated top speed of 120 miles per hour. And all of this came with a combined fuel economy of just 12 miles per gallon, because this car was about performance. Chevrolet nailed the design with this one, the L78. Chevelle had a sleek, aggressive look with a blackened grille and quad headlamps that made it bold on the road. The simulated air intake on the hood added to the sporty feel, and the rear window design made it look sharp and modern. The all-vinyl interior had a clean, performance-focused vibe, with sporty features like twin air intakes and ribbed body accents. What makes the 1966 Chevelle L78 even more remarkable is its rarity. Out of over 70,000 Chevelles sold that year, only 3,099 had the powerful L78 engine. That makes it a rare marvel among muscle cars, and its strong performance on the road and track only adds to its legendary status. With its incredible power, stylish design, and rarity, the 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle L78 has earned its place in muscle car history. Number 7, 1969 Chevrolet COPO Camaro. The 1969 Chevrolet COPO Camaro is a muscle car that stands out in history. Packed with a robust 427 cubic inch V8 engine, it delivers 425 horsepower and a staggering 460 pound-feet of torque. This incredible engine allows the Camaro to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.3 seconds, reaching a top speed of 125 miles per hour. With a fuel efficiency of just 10 miles per gallon, this car was built for performance and speed, not for sipping gas. But what makes the COPO Camaro unique? It started with the Central Office Production Order, or COPO, which was initially created for police cars. Some clever dealers, including the legendary Don Yinko, saw an opportunity to use this system to build high-performance vehicles instead. That's how the COPO Camaro came to life, one with a big block engine that wasn't part of the regular Chevrolet lineup. Additionally, the COPO Camaro was built for performance. It had a ZL2 cowl induction hood for better airflow, a heavy-duty 12-bolt rear axle, and toughened springs for amazing handling. It was a racer's dream. And even though it looked simple outside, there was nothing ordinary about the power packed inside. Number 6, 1987, Oldsmobile 442. The 1987 Oldsmobile 442 is a standout muscle car from the 80s, combining performance, style, and a touch of luxury. While it might not break speed records, it's still a car with much to offer. This might not be your first pick if you're after a car built purely for speed. But if you appreciate a balanced muscle car with personality, the 442 truly shines. This car is built on General Motors' G-body platform and has that classic 80s muscle car look. The name 442 carries a lot of history. It was brought back in 1985 after a short break. Over its 3 years in production, only about 11,400 units were made, making it a rare find today. Under the hood, the 442 packs a 307 cubic inch V8 engine, delivering 170 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque. While not the fastest, this car does a respectable 0 to 60 in about 9.5 seconds. Thanks to its solid suspension system and stabilizer bars, it's built to handle well. The 442 feels great on winding roads, making it more about the drive than pure speed. Inside, the car keeps it simple with a spacious, comfy interior. It's not flashy, but the soft seats and smooth 4-speed automatic transmission make cruising a pleasure. With its mix of muscle and luxury, the 1987 Oldsmobile 442 remains a legendary car that still turns heads. Number 5, 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. The 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner is a muscle car that stands out, and it's easy to see why it's become a legend. First, if it has a Hemi engine, it's a different level. This car was built for speed, with the Hemi version going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.6 seconds. Plus, it could clear a quarter mile in 13.49 seconds, reaching 106 miles per hour. Serious power on the road back then, and it still impresses today. But what makes the Roadrunner even more legendary? The 1970 model came with the iconic air grabber hood, and it wasn't just for looks. Flick a switch under the dashboard, and a trapdoor would open, revealing a cool scoop with a shark cartoon. And of course, let's not forget that famous beep beep horn, making it impossible to miss. Plus, the design of the Roadrunner in 1970 was revamped too. It got a new front grille, a sleeker hood, and unique tail lamps, giving it an aggressive and stylish look that turned heads. And under the hood, the engine was even more challenging, built to last and keep that raw power going for years. Number 4, 1965, Ford Mustang Shelby GT 350. The 1965 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 350 is an absolute legend. It's a car built for power and performance, with a 310 horsepower engine and 329 pound-feet of torque. This beast can zoom from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.7 seconds and hit a top speed of 134 miles per hour. But it's not just about the speed. It's designed for an exciting, smooth, and controlled ride. Shelby didn't just take the regular Mustang and call it a day. He transformed it into a road-ready race car. The front suspension is rigid, with a 1-inch anti-roll bar as strong as steel. The vehicle also features Koni adjustable shocks that can easily handle fast speeds. Those big, low-profile Goodyear tires? They're semi-racing tires that safely handle speeds up to 130 miles per hour. This isn't just a fast car, it's a car that's made to stay in control no matter the speed. Speaking of performance, the Shelby GT350 doesn't mess around when it comes to stopping. It has Kelsey Hayes 11-inch disc brakes in the front and oversized drum brakes in the back. The braking power is so strong that it can stop on a dime, though it does take a bit of muscle to press the pedals. Under the hood, this Mustang is packing a special version of Ford's 289 cubic inch V8. Shelby added some incredible upgrades, pushing the engine to 306 horsepower. With parts like welded tube headers and a high-riser intake manifold, this engine is as powerful as impressive. Number 3, 1970 Dodge Challenger RT Convertible. The 1970 Dodge Challenger RT Convertible isn't just a car, it's a muscle car legend. What makes this ride so unique? Well, let's start with the engine. Under the hood, it's rocking a massive 426 cubic inch HEMI V8 engine. This beast cranks out 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, making it a powerhouse on the street. But the amazing thing, this Challenger is one of only 5 ever built with a 4-speed manual transmission and the legendary HEMI. It's not all about the power, though. The design of the Challenger RT Convertible is pure muscle car perfection. From its low-profile stance to the aggressive, full-width scoop grille, this car looks fast even when it's parked. The Coke bottle profile with those raised rear fenders? Iconic. And those rear taillights, 2 big rectangular units with Dodge, proudly written across the back, are impossible to miss. Inside, the Challenger RT doesn't skimp on comfort either. The special edition package included leather and vinyl bucket seats, a formal rear window, and a console with warning lights to keep you on track. In the end, the 1970 Challenger RT Convertible isn't just rare, it's a piece of automotive history. It combines power, style, and luxury to make it a true legend of the muscle car world. This car defines the golden age of muscle cars and will always be remembered as one of the greatest. Number 2, 1970 Ford Mustang. The 1970 Ford Mustang is a muscle car that still excites people. For good reason. While the 1968 model was a strong contender, the 1970 Mustang is legendary. Thanks to the Boss 429 version, a huge part of that is rare and incredibly powerful. But even a restored Mach 1 with a big 428 cubic inch V8 engine can turn heads, and it shows how much love this car still gets. In terms of looks, the 1970 Mustang made some cool changes. It ditched the previous year's 4 headlights and returned to a classic single headlight setup with a wider grille. The rear also got a facelift with flatter taillights, making the Mustang look even more aggressive. But the real magic was under the hood. This was when the legendary 351 Cleveland V8 engine came in, giving the Mustang an extra boost in power. The Boss 428 FE engine took it even further, delivering serious muscle. Ford knew it had to stay competitive in the muscle car game, and it did with the introduction of the Boss version. The bodywork got a makeover with wider rear panels and a sloped rear window, making it stand out. Inside, it kept things simple but sporty, with options like a round knob shifter for manual versions and a T-type for automatics. With its powerful engine, cool design, and incredible history, the 1970 Ford Mustang is a true legend of the muscle car world. Number 1, 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle is one legendary muscle car, and it's easy to see why it's such a standout. If you're looking for the ultimate Chevelle, you want one with the 454 LS6 engine. This engine is what makes this muscle car a true powerhouse. And when paired with the rest of the Chevelle's features, it becomes an unforgettable machine. The LS6 engine delivers an incredible 450 horsepower, making the Chevelle a real force on the road. Now let's talk about its appearance. The design of the 1970 Chevelle is also something special. The front end got a facelift with a new bumper, no slots, and rectangular parking lamps just below the headlights. The body got a sharper, more defined look, with a feature line running from the headlights all the way to the rear bumper. The rear side markers got redesigned too, giving the car a bold and aggressive stance. Inside, the Chevelle balanced style with comfort, offering features like vinyl trim and even hidden antennas in the windshield. But the real star here is the engine. With the jump from the 396 cubic inch engine to the 454 LS6, the Chevelle took power to the next level, offering a thrilling driving experience. With its monster engine, sleek design, and overall raw power, the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle is truly a legendary muscle car. It's got everything you could want: style, strength, and a place in automotive history. Which legendary muscle car defined an era of performance and style? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below.